The following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Way we do success levels of success with the
Oh,
low.
right, okay.
Yeah.
This probably should be on okay, so I've been thinking about this. Now, as you know, the way we do success at the moment when we're rolling like stats and proficiencies is 2 is the second best result we can get, and because we do a flippy thing, 1 is obviously a failure, but 20 is a success. When crits are appropriate. Normally you don't critically fail like a skill check and that sort of thing unless I say that's a possibility. And we've been treating 2 like it's the best possible thing to get, and let's say higher numbers, like say if you've got a 14 in that stat, that would be a partial success because you rolled right on your number. Yeah. But I've been thinking that doesn't make a lot of sense because it means that a 2 charisma roll for Ken is a huge brilliant success, but so is a 2 charisma roll for the charismaless bag that you are.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're saying now. So
it's like he can brilliantly succeed to the same level he can in charisma, when I really think that a 2 should be the barest success, and the higher the number, the more brilliant the success. Thus meaning the bigger the stat you have, you can reach higher degrees of success. So for him, 17, I barely made it. That's like best possible success, except where crits are allowed.
Yeah. So in other words, we're playing 21.
Yeah, you want to get. I think we should be treating everything as a get closest.
As a higher as
price is
yeah.
right, closest to without going over.
Yeah.
I think we should be treating because I realise the book says it's only that way when you're contesting, but I think we should unify it and make it all the same way because the book also says it's a binary thing. You either succeed or don't.
Okay.
Whereas we have gradiated successes for flavour.
If we're flipping the way numbers work, are we keeping 4s?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, because 4 is still a success.
Yeah.
Well, we're not flipping the whole numbers. It's just the levels of success.
So the higher the number you get, the closer you get to your number you're looking for, the more brilliant the success.
So you get a success no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not changing what is a success and what isn't.
So nat 20 is still the best. The next best would not be 2. It would be, if your stat is 14, it would be 14.
Yeah, because we switched 20 and 1, whereas 20 would normally not be a success. It is. It's just,
Because rolling 20 is much more satisfying than rolling 1.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing Snake Eyes.
But the thing is, it's like I was thinking. I thought I put it to all of you to see what you thought, if you agreed with my logic.
No, it's standard way.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything is now using the sort of contested rules, closest to without going over.
Of course! Of course!
So, the time now is...
Prime?
Yay! On
The 2nd of Duran.
That's right, you guys have been travelling for a month. A month since you left San Ramirez.
Yeah, makes sense, yeah.
Doesn't time fly in this game? Much better than it does in the superhero game, where it's still 2012.
So my first question is, how many secrets has Saphira given away about us?
Here we are. You are outside a tiny little village. It's so tiny that if you want a map for it, I could just scribble it down here and give it you. But the map is pointless, because here's what's in the village. You come up on it, the sun's like peeking over the corner, the cocks are crowing. There are 2 huge silo-style things. They're not round, they're sort of elongated. There's the sound of hooves on the stone. It's like donkey-drawn carts are coming in with barrels, like straight-sided barrels, not casks. And there's 2 of them. They're like down far end of the town on either side of the road. Then there's like a sort of lower building, like looks like it might have once been sort of like an inn, but it's clearly been repurposed into not an inn, because there's an inn right over there, and there's like some thatched huts nearby, and there's a well, and there's a blacksmith. That's all there is. Whole town. And at point, people are starting to appear on the roads as they've clearly left their farms before town, and they're coming in with carts. There's peasants coming out of the doors, and there's one man standing there in like much better clothing. He's got a sash across here. Some children run out towards you, and they stop right before the park. They're little children. They look up at you, and they're little peasant things with big wide eyes, and they go. And one of them goes, "Here! Is you the party of Spiros, the Bat Paladin?" Except a little kid voice that I can't do.
It's a squeakier.
Yeah, I'll see the little party of the Bat Paladin.
Perhaps I did not know the tales of Saphiro and his group had spread this far.
They start skipping back through town. The little girls are like throwing leaves, flower petals onto the path ahead of you. A shitty peasant band is playing with what few instruments they have, mostly percussion.
Is this really happening?
Does this normally
I
happen?
don't know. I mean, have
The
you seen it happen anywhere
peasant
else?
gentleman steps into the street and it like motions you forward.
I will sheepishly move
What is
towards them.
she doing?
She is
Sidling.
looking around like, what?
Yeah, okay, she's like us then, good.
I mean, I'll whisper aside to Sulan on the way. It happened in Merlin. We
There's
didn't get this
there's
kind
peasants,
of
they're talking to each other, and then
reception
when
anyway there.
They turn around and go, "Hey!" and start cheering. Work is forgotten. One cart being carried by hand. When the peasant hears about it, he's like, "Oh, this is wonderful!" He drops it, and a barrel falls over, and apples just spill everywhere. This is the orchard region, by the way.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Oh!
Please deduct 1 hit point as you used a sword. Do you often get greeted in this manner?
You didn't
Not
get
as much as he'd like to.
Good.
We went through the entirety of Merlin, and aside from the capital after our victory, we did not get any such greeting, and that's where most of this happened.
This is wonderful news. I'm so glad that you are here. Emotions for quiet.
Oh, they want us to do something.
Hi, I'm Hans Klenner, Mayor of Woodthlan. This town.
Saphiro, cleric of Tor, at your service.
Cheers! Whee! Apples are being thrown. This is a good thing around here.
Ow, 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 ow!
You have armor!
Not at you.
No, no. No, I thought they were just bopping me on the head.
Wir
Maybe at me.
are privileged
You
to
are
live in
lucky,
a time
so.
of great distinction. the bountiful harvest, third of the year, and now the prophecy has been fulfilled. As the great hero, a paladin of Thor once, and cleric, Sephiro, accompanied by a rat, and wizard, and yellow-eyed woman, and other, will arrive in the town. On this day! Cheers. Ebullience.
There aren't any wizards here, though.
I must correct, I am not a paladin, I am a mere cleric.
Says cleric.
Yeah, yes.
Once paladin,
that was a misunderstanding.
Nonetheless, it is a nonsense you speak. For this fulfillment of the prophecy guarantees us 100 years of peace and prosperity! Cheers, cheers, cheers. I am sure you are waiting for your just rewards and, of course, the free night in the inn and anything you want. You just have to name it, you will get it. Ah, we are so glad you are here. The ogres have been such problems.
But we don't have a wizard with us, so...
Picture.
Well, okay, if there's anything we want, if you could keep the whole wizard thing on the quiet.
Of course, we have lived in Balmania for a long time since they conquered us.
If you could just avoid mentioning that ever again.
Of course, anything you want.
Thank you.
So, we are glad to welcome Sephiro, the great hero, the yellow-eyed woman, and this Pillock.
Is that better?
much.
Probably in this country, unfortunately, yes.
At least you're not a other.
You must be tired from your journeys on the road. Yeah. Even though you would have just camped just
I
outside
was
of
thinking
town.
we just camped.
You should probably ask them when they expect us to kill the others.
I'm sure you
Yes.
on your own time will be fine. You must rest, of course.
Well, to be honest, we did make camp but a few hours ago.
Come gather round children, it's high time you learned of the heroes of Hero and the other two girls.
He's not talking about you, I hope you know.
Why not? I could be just as adventurous as anyone.
I was talking about the girl part.
She looks down at you.
She is tall.
I'm also looking
yes.
at Adrian when I'm saying this.
You know, sometimes I think you want me to go crazy.
I think you already were.
Not yet.
We do not wish to interfere with your daily routine too much. But thank you for your hospitality, nonetheless.
Of course. It is not often that legends appear.
You should see if you read the prophecy first. See if there's anything else in there you could glean.
You do us too much credit.
Could I take a look at that prophecy?
Of course. Anything for a fine pillock such as yourself.
Does it just read what he said it does?
So,
Does it
what
say
can you tell us about these ogres you spoke of?
They came as the prophecy said they would.
Do you know from where or how long they have been?
We have had many adventurous scouts reporting on their exact location. As we are beginning to plant, it could be especially dangerous if they should raven us now. Of course, we know that you will be able to defeat them between the beak.
Perhaps how many are there?
2.
2.
And of course their legions.
Their legions?
They seem to be able to command the beasts and creatures as well.
What about wolves or were we talking
Wolves
about?
and bear.
And bears.
The bears are rare around here this time of year. They are normally only wander into this region when the sort of lusher areas are in decline. But they have bear. We have seen bear.
They tend to be more dangerous this time of year.
Well, they'll probably be starting to have young, will they not? And be
other-
very protective of them.
and other such creatures.
Those
Some we have never
razor
seen
boar you told me about.
Oh, I bet we haven't seen any of those.
I mean, we can't make any promises. We are but few, and perhaps the ogres may be.
Your humbleness amazes me.
I mean, we don't want to bite off more than we can chew. But it would not do any harm to perhaps investigate this matter, if you do not mind making a brief delay.
We have been travelling for a while, so we do
We were
need to
beginning
rest.
to despair, but thank goodness the prophecy was unearthed, and that put our minds at ease, and then you arrived.
When was the prophecy unearthed?
Oh, 12 years ago, I think.
And who by?
Some researcher of some kind.
Okay.
One of the travelling scribes who tried to document the entire history of this glorious confederated nation of Birmingham.
And they didn't.
In the old inn there are many such documents that are far too busy to go through, and they unearthed a good many, including settling some ownership rights in the region. There have been two families who have been arguing a long time who are finally able to bury the hatchet.
So, where have the ogres been attacking? Or their minions and beasts?
He'll draw you a rough map of like the town and then like this cave where the ogres are supposed to come from, and obviously it's a straight line between them.
So have they caused any damage so far to your orchards or your town?
Yeah, I miss you.
Has anyone been killed?
Thankfully, no. Most people are smart enough to run.
Ogres been a common problem over the years, or is this something new?
Every sort of 50 or so years, there's an ogre problem.
Okay. Do they have any particular wants, the ogres? Like, is there a particular thing they...
Well, if they do, you do not know it.
Let's see. I mean, I was just wondering, perhaps they just want to be left alone and they've decided to inhabit this cave and they just want to... But I suppose they also like to eat. You have livestock in any of the surrounding
This is an
farms?
orchard in here.
Yes, I don't know if any of them.
Any need to be what we have to order in.
Because I've heard of ogres in other regions going after the livestock, so it seems odd that they would inhabit a place that is mostly fruit.
Don't ask me, I don't know.
Is there anything about ogres in that bestiary you ran across?
I don't think so.
I remember hearing about the weakness they have near the eyes.
Love to know that keeps happening. Why do I bother trying to have nice things?
Sulan, you would have remembered that tale we heard about the ogre and having a weakness around the eyes. Perhaps we could use that to our advantage.
I think we could.
I mean, we know them to be very strong creatures. We also might have to deal with whatever beasts they have in their control.
Yes, that'd be the problem.
I don't think I've ever heard of ogres having beasts under their control before.
No, that's the first I've heard of it.
I mean, I've heard of the odd times where a few orcs or goblins have, teamed up with with ogres for some reason or another, but I haven't heard of them controlling wolves and bears and things like that.
Goblins are certainly the thing you hear about in the stories with ogres.
If we were to look into this, would you be more comfortable scouting ahead alone, Sulan, or would you prefer to go as a group?
It'd be easier to scout alone.
That's what I thought. But I didn't want to, I didn't mind suggesting it, but I didn't want to. I wanted your opinion on the matter before just sending you out.
If you,
Just get some information first. Basic information on their lair.
I'll go have a look to see what I can see. Where would you like to meet?
Well, might as well at the inn. When would be the best time? I do know that the height of the sun and so forth.
I was going to ask which way, north, south, which way is the cave?
It is alarmingly directly east.
So the
Less
sun
than a day.
sun would rise up over it. So you'd have a shadow stretching across towards the cave.
If I'd have to have gone earlier, they would see me now approaching.
Or wait until the sun's already down.
I have to wait till tonight. But what I can do is circle the area and see what animals I might see. Prints and indication. That might give us an idea of how many and where they come from.
So if you can find anything, even just at the outskirts of town in that direction, just maybe a mile or two, it might help out.
So I'll trot off and have a look. Do some tracking.
All by yourself? Surely you would not like a scouting party to go with you?
Why?
For your protection. Safety and numbers and such things?
I've never had this before.
Yes, we'll be quite alright on our own.
You were going to Roya?
Of course.
I did not know you had such.
I will stay far enough back, but you will need some support.
Okay.
If you're
I need a room to
sure.
change into my gear.
Well, I believe we have been offered free room at the inn, so.
Of course, right this way.
Anything here that piques your interest, Adrian? I suppose there's not really
The cloak
much in the
speaker
way
shambles off.
much in the way of
What?
She just shambles off.
in the way of books or
Well,
things that would interest you.
They had all that documents in the was it in the inn that they're needing
It's the old inn,
in the old inn?
which is now an apple sorting bazaar.
In the old inn.
Of course. As fine Pillock such as yourself would be most interested in dusty old tomes and scrolls. So here. Here is a key that will allow you into the back office. Please peruse anything you wish. Anything will be made available for great heroes.
Thanks.
There you
Is
go,
there
Adrian.
anything you need?
No,
I've
not
heard this
particularly.
tale of needing of certain blood or dust or eyeballs of various animals, so that can be obtained for you.
No, I don't need any of those things at the moment.
Such a powerful Pillock you must be.
I would just smoke a bit of this.
This is such a trap.
You could ask for another name.
I don't care. I'm gonna go
As
into
long
this.
as they're not yelling about him at the top of their lungs being a wizard, he's probably fine.
I've been given the key to a trap. It's going to explode.
Do you wish any company, Adrian, or would you?
No, you'd probably just get bored.
Very well.
It's never fun.
Well, he probably doesn't want to be disturbed, and my clanking around will just
What are you looking
annoy
for?
him.
What is that?
What are you looking for? I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. What are you hoping to find?
I don't know. Honestly.
Guessing you're wanting
Yeah, I'm going fishing.
going it for anything magical, I'm guessing?
There won't be anything.
There will not be anything magical here, but there might be things of interest. That gives me nothing. I'll do some random rolls and find out.
You would be looking for anything to do with the desert.
Well, that too.
Ah, well then, that gives me something to work on, thank you. I'll see if there's anything like that there first, and then work on others.
That's a good point. We're only like about... What,
4 weeks away. Again,
Well, the edge of the parch
again,
stone's
as I
here,
will
so-
remind you that the maps you have bought from that guy
Yeah.
are deliberately only have the winding back roads on them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you are going the super long way. How are you getting prepared for your scouting trip? You've got your own room to get ready in.
I'll put my
There's they've gone all out. You've got a wash stand in a town this size,
That is actually impressive.
and there's a heated iron brick in your bed, like wrapped up and stuff to warm it.
I'll put my pack in Sephiro's room like I always do.
So we've got a room each, I'm guessing?
Yeah. I just seem to do it. Let's restore it.
Yeah. Well, especially if there's like somewhere to lock. If
Hmm.
there's a chest or something you can put it into, or...
You ask for that, and it is provided. The carpenter makes one.
Oh, wow.
He just gets like a couple of tables, knocks the legs off, slaps them together, dowels them up, slaps a lock on it. There you go, Bob's your uncle.
So, yeah,
Perfect
I'll just
chest.
ask the mayor about like the
Anything you want, I said.
the
You get it.
history of the place.
If it's
And
within reason for a small town to be able to have it. So no manticores.
yeah, just ask them a little bit of history of the place and what religion they generally follow around here, and where they go to pray and things like that. Since they
Good
don't have...
Athoturians around here. Good, solid Athoturians. No disrespect to your god, of course. But they're good, solid Athoturians around here.
So where's your nearest temple or...
Oh, old man Moz is the priest.
Oh,
He works out at the apple sorting.
I will actually go, after I talk to the mayor for a bit, I'll go talk to him too then.
So yeah, basically,
He's also our story keeper,
Ah,
who is the local historian.
yes, I'll just basically just stay where whatever I was wearing, my robes and the cape, no,
cloak.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. Thank you.
I was like, that can't be what he means.
Yeah. Cloaks.
I could tell from the look on his face, Stephen was like, I know what I'm talking about.
And my just my bow and arrow and the swords. So I'll wait outside the inn until she comes out.
Okay, she comes out in armor that's very much like yours.
Very much. Or
Pretty identical. I mean, it's obviously
you're not here.
it's obviously a different design, and she also has like a big broadsword on her back.
Did she have that beforehand?
You couldn't tell because she's bundled all her stuff up under her cloak,
I hope that.
and it's actually all wrapped up tightly in cloth as well, so it's pretty concealed.
Yeah.
At her hip, there's a small, incredibly well-made pistol bow, and on her other hip is like a little square box full of coral.
One of those ones that doesn't break
I
after
know
one
those
shot.
ones. Yeah.
If you want to actually do like a proper perception check, I can give you more.
Here is a dice tray, Stephen.
Sorry, there's a dice tray. Thank you for that, because I rolled 2. 9.
It doesn't count out of the tray,
Yep.
as they say.
Habit. 9.
Right. Okay. The walnut stock appears to be polished and well laminated, and you'd swear that the actual armature are made of steel,
Oh.
not iron.
Yeah.
And it also appears to have a fine twined hair cord. The corals are shorter, and they appear to have different coloured fletchings on them.
They're all different.
Half of them are in white and half of them are in green.
So what do the green ones do? Quarrel.
Mild paralytic poison.
And I'm guessing the white ones are just plain.
Of course.
The green ones might have been learning.
Oh, I'm sorry. The green ones institute policies the country can't possibly afford.
And what about the white ones?
Are blamed for all the wrongdoings. Watching what you do. Learning.
Alright, so I'm watching what she does.
Well, you're in front.
Oh no.
You got eyes in the back of your head now,
Yep.
Simon?
I think it's Solon, if
It's
anyone.
Solon, yeah.
Once you get into the wooded area, it's pretty clear she doesn't actually have any ability to. She's not experienced with woodcraft and underbrush and snap, twig, step on.
Are you trying to make this much noise?
She catches up to you because she's staying at least 12 squares behind.
Yeah.
So she doesn't spoil. Look, I'm not terribly good at this. That's why I'm staying so far back, so I don't foul your.
To move fast through it, watch your steps. Don't stand on the branches. Branches will always snap or make noise.
Carry on, I'm just making you note.
Right. I'll continue. She's making less noise.
She's tied her hair back as well,
Yeah.
by the way.
So until we get to about,
So, you don't encounter a single animal.
which is odd in itself.
And now I require you to hunt to find the tracks. Either that or you can do a tracking roll, but hunting would be more effective for finding animals. Tracking, you're looking for tracks and a trail of tracks, but hunting, you're looking for any kind of sign of an animal. at
No,
all.
I see. Thinking about it, I do see how that would be better. Yeah.
Okay, nothing. Zero animal life.
This
The
is-
closest thing you find is a bird.
I was going to say, are there birds like flying over here and around and things? Or
But after an hour of like looking around, I mean, you come as close as you can to like there's the edge of the bush, and you can kind of spot the area where the topography matches leading to the cave, and you don't go any further because obviously you don't want to dangle your ass out. Not a fucking animal. Never. There hasn't been one here for about a month.
This doesn't seem right. There is no animal tracks. None.
At all. Perhaps they're all in the cave then.
No, I mean there is no animals. None. As in, from the smallest beasts to the bigger beasts.
But they say they've seen wolves and bears.
This whole area is clear of animals.
Perhaps they've been taken closer to the cave. They say that this is a regular occurrence.
Well, if they've got that many beasts, they would have raided closer by now, because you've got to feed them somehow.
Perhaps we should have a look around the orchards. Maybe they don't come directly towards the town.
That's what I was planning to do next. We'll circle around and come back to town.
Do you want me to go back and report to Saphiro or?
No need, not yet.
Solon doesn't tell us anything.
I do tell you everything.
No, I know.
But if I've got nothing, I might as well
she
go
might as well do the
around.
full report. Do the whole thing and give us a full report than a half report.
I mean, I'm just making reference to Solon's scouting mission.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll continue.
Again, she'll keep 12 squares back. Meanwhile, in town. Okay, so we'll go to Adrin, who is in town. You actually find that this was once a military outpost before it was burnt down when Burmania took over.
Yeah.
And they have many dried old documents about guard rotors and shift watches, and you get bored. But you are able to find some things that interest you.
I'm guessing formerly a Merlin based, is it? Like?
No, formerly an independent nation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Romania does this.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just wondering.
He's from Wintilda, not Romania. But Wintilda is owned by Romania.
No, yeah.
It's like it's a part of it. It's like Ireland and Scotland are a part of the UK.
Yeah.
Well, more accurately, like Catalonia is a part of Spain.
No, the reason Romania is where it is now is because they got fucked hard. Essentially, they moved too much of their force to take where it is
'cause they
now,
used to be in
and
the
then they
middle.
got annexed, essentially from their original home.
Pretty much. And
By
you've been paying
Zeiss.
attention. I'm glad someone's paying attention.
By Zeiss,
Emergent
yeah.
storytelling, bitches.
It's why all the
Zeiss is pretty much where old Burmany was.
It's
like.
why the architecture makes no sense for where it is, because they built from what they originally built in their home, and now they're building big ass Gothic buildings in the middle of of desert land.
And like summery Mediterranean stuff. Yeah.
You are able to find this oldie map and this storybook.
Is there a year attached to this map, or is it just a map? Actually, better than that. Judge it because I can judge that it was basically a former military outpost right before it was burnt down. Would I be able to find the rough year of when it was a military outpost?
Yes, thinking. Based on that, I won't make you roll.
Cross-referencing your material, it makes sense.
This is from about the time that from the lush area that was once these golden groves that the parched stone is now. It was beginning to wither, and it was starting to get the name parched stone instead of just the stone.
Yeah.
And they were thinking, maybe we could take this once great fortress if they abandon it, so let's get this map of the parched stone. So it's from pre-absolute desert period, but post-Burmanian conquest start.
Yeah.
You would estimate it around about the time that they might be just about to just about to be annexed. I'm not going to put a specific date on it because there wouldn't be.
Yeah.
But that's your generalization. There's your great big map, but I do have a small portable map that you can put in your phone. If you want it.
I mean, I'd feel terrible having to fold this up to put it away.
Oh, is that it is. It's a side-on at the top.
Yep. And it is also implied that they have more information on the area, but that got bundled up and moved away with the archivists.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, hunting.
Have it. No.
Spend another hour.
Yes.
2 hours of hunting all around the orchard. You do find signs of animals there. There's some wolf print. There's some territory mark. So you do find some signs there.
Yep.
But unfortunately, you were unable to trail them back.
They don't lead towards the caves.
Not directly.
No.
But some indication of bowing out there might be. You also find some unusual, oversized kind of humanoid-y footprints, but not a human's.
So, but the same size as a human.
No, bigger.
Oh, so ogreish.
Maybe? Trolley, perhaps? Very, very big orc? Maybe?
And how many pairs?
You only find one print like that. So
You'd think that there'd be more prints. Alright, we'll return.
what did you find? her hand in the print. That's a most unusual print. Some giant?
Something larger than normal. Again, I've never seen an ogre print, so I couldn't tell you.
Judging from your print, the depth in the ground, we're looking at something about 10 feet tall and 300 pounds. Look at the comparative depth. And if the size is consistent and it doesn't have disproportionate feet,
Quite large.
almost Ogarian.
We'll return and tell Saphira what we found. Again, it's not much, but
Maybe we should in fact look at the cave.
it's still too bright. The sun will be behind us by the time we got to the cave.
At night then.
We'd have to return at night, yes. So, yep, trot on back.
Saphira, you're talking to the old man now, I believe?
Yeah, the historian and slash. I suppose cleric. Would it be cleric or
Priest.
priest?
You stopped at slash, and I was like, why is he here?
Yeah. So yeah.
It's not me this time.
He's just walking up and down the rows,
Okay.
making sure everyone's doing their job.
I greet you, Saphira, cleric of Torn, at your service.
He sprinkles some dirt in your face. The hard soil about the take to you in your time of planting.
Thank you.
Deep may your furrows be filled with seed.
Quite. So you have been the priest here for many a year, I take it?
Many a ring. How can
I was just curious about the
you
history
need
of this.
a blessing, holy dirt?
I do not require holy dirt, no.
Blessed stone.
No, but thank you nonetheless. Can you know much of the history of this region, I believe?
Root and branch, bold and stone.
What can you tell me about the ogres in this region? Is that...
Oh, once long ago, this town was not here, and before that, the men of iron skin, and before them, only a small tavern on a winding trade road. It is then the ogres started coming. Once each height and fell they came, burning and destroying what they did not understand. And the people gave them the names. Two of them, Rook and Dar. And they came repeatedly, and the villagers drove them away. A span and felled again they came, Rook and Dar, but no one remembered to tell. By this time they sent for help, and iron skin and horses' lance drove them away forever. But no. Again a span and felled again they came, both of them again into destroying and battering. And the villagers said, we shall be ruined. And great heroes came. A great paladin of Tor by the name of E-Man and his companions. Ben Tussler and a dark man with a skull instead of a face came. And they destroyed the ogres. But a span and failed again, they came back. And so, again the villagers in despair sent for the great heroes who had saved them before, and they returned, fleet of foot on mares of fire across the sky. And they again drove off the ogres, and the villagers beseeched them to not leave, because they came and came again. And the wise sage, Ben, made a prophecy that they would once and for all be defeated by great heroes from the future. And they would come in 100 years, and when the ogres were finally defeated, it would mean 100 years of peace and prosperity from the gods. And we would know them by their names and a rat.
I see. And this happened 100 years ago?
Good times.
He just wants to get out of doing the fucking job again.
How old are you?
27. No, if this was actual medieval times. We're 32. No, I have seen 2 spans and failed again.
Impressive.
My time is up. I will not see another span and failed again. Not even a sapling, I feel.
Are you sure these are the same 2 ogres?
The
Throughout
names have
history?
been heard. Rock and Dal. Same 2.
For hundreds of years?
Seems impossible, but they are our curse for our hubris.
I don't know how
In
long...
all the glorious years we had, we did not offer proper thanks to the gods. A lesson we have learned. Dirt.
Thank you.
Firm soil of Avatar to you. May your resolve be unshakable as the mountain.
Thank you. Well, I will leave the old man.
Okay, so at what, midday, could we say? When the sun is high. There's another name.
Sick.
We shall meet again. 3 great heroes and a road woman. Yeah.
Oh. Road one.
You've just got a cloak, we established that.
And mate, I'm not even wearing robes, so I don't really know.
It's not a robe so much as it is completely ensconcing travel cloak with hood, so it's like being in robe.
Oh, okay. So he cannot see what she's wearing underneath the robe now.
No one, yeah, no.
That's alright. I see you, Saphira.
I see you, Sulan.
We've,
Roya?
Yes.
We've scouted around and
And I help.
we found very few animals. There was none between here and straight to the cave.
There was a
None.
bird. We saw bird. That one bird.
A bird. Whether it could have been a lookout, I don't know.
What kind of bird was it? Was it like an evil bird, like a crow or a raven, or...?
I believe it was a blue tit.
Okay.
Not typically an evil bird.
No.
No one suspects the
Perhaps.
blue tit.
Perhaps the animals are purposefully avoiding the cave region because they...
No, I mean, there's no animals between here and the cave, anywhere.
Even if they're living in the cave, wouldn't they have to come out to eat?
That's what we said, we were discussed. Also, when we swung around through the orchards, we only found wolf print and large prints. A large print.
Whatever it was would have been roughly 9 to 10 feet tall and about 300 pounds, given the depth of the impression and the size of the foot.
So not large.
Assuming they are proportional to humans.
So not large like the time you found a dragon print.
No.
This would probably be the ogre, or at least one of the ogres.
Did you find it leading towards or away from anywhere, or just one big print?
It was a print in, which is a surprise I couldn't find any others.
A single print, that's interesting.
I don't know how something that big would be able to...
Well, the desert is quite packed, and it was near the soil of the orchards.
I was about to ask what the ground was like there. I mean, if it was mostly hard ground, I could see why there would be few prints, but if this ground was soft...
The ground wasn't soft at all, was it? No.
Near the orchards, yeah, a little bit softer.
Yeah, that's why I assumed, yeah.
And while there is still a treed region around the area you're in, the ground is a bit firmer.
Oh, I found a map of the city of the Parched Stone.
You found a map of the stone?
Not the waste, but the city, yeah.
Yes, the stone. You found a map of the stone of Burmany. May I see it?
Okay.
Snatch.
Did she
Unbelievable.
open the cloak slightly? Because he's got a roll.
You see, it wouldn't matter because of the layers.
That's alright then.
I mean, how do you think she's been...
Layers on layers on layers.
Unbelievable. They would actually allow a map of their fortresses.
Good job, Adrian. That was a
Fantastic
very
job.
good
It's
find.
Very well scouted. It's even got the temple.
Not that it really helps us in any way. This wasn't going to be the hard part.
11.
11.
Look at the.
I'm
look
just
at the way it's
noticing
built.
how she seems to know. She said the way that she said the temples, like she knows a bit about this place
Look
already.
at the way it's built into the hill. We could only come at it from the front. Better hope it's fallen down if you're planning to go there. I mean, you'd never get through. Look at this. The dwarves even sloped the walls so it couldn't be undermined.
Perfect fortification.
It's ingenious. You would need wyrms and dragons scale aerial units to assault the place, or come at it from behind down the mountains. But
I guarantee they're trapped.
oh, I guarantee it too. But that would need the. That's how I guarantee you. That's how it fell. The Dark One's forces came down from the Moradin range. If you remember the tales of the Dark Times, that was their primary fortification. They would have had a back door in, and as you know, traps or no traps, they would have just sent more.
And they would have just cleared it out and made a
No
path.
one would have seen it come. That's how they took control. I guarantee it. That's ingenious. Well, not so much ingenious, but fortuitous. It's also probably how they held on to it for so long.
But then that would also mean that those traps may not be there anymore.
So you're thinking go up into the mountain and come down from the other side?
You'd have more chance of that.
You wouldn't be able to do it. The dwarf mountain tribes have closed off all access to that region.
As Christians, we cannot put our heads in the sand somewhere and ignore what the devil's doing. We are called light in the earth, and we must shine that light into the darkness, exposing the darkness and proving to the world how glorious Jesus Christ really is.